All new since 6 o'clock right now on the WHAS11 night team. Thunderstorms rock Kentuckiana. Thousands lose power as a quick-moving summer storm moves through our area tonight. But the cooler air is not here just yet. And then, an off-duty New York City police officer shot and killed tonight, along with other victims inside a Manhattan office building.
We heard multiple shots go off. A lot of us went through training in elementary school of what to do in an active shooter situation. We were all unfortunately prepared.
We have the late-breaking details we're learning tonight from New York City. And then,
I think the biggest part of why we have a lot of the issues we have is financial, as well as behavioral.
Parents meet with the new JCPS Superintendent, Dr. Brian Yearwood. Are they worried about the start of school and school buses now just over a week away? Plus, a big new data center is coming to Southwest Louisville. The pushback from the community just ahead. Right now on the WHAS 11 night team. First here right now on the night team, as we come on the air, we just have a brand new power outage update for you. It's just been updated by LG&E. Just a little over 1,300 Louisville LG&E customers are without power here at 11. That's down from just over 2,000 moments ago, in fact, within the last 30 minutes, so it's dropping pretty quickly. That's good news. The biggest concentrations of the outages right now are located in southwest Jefferson County and eastern Louisville. The thunderstorm that just really didn't seem to want to leave our area tonight kept thunder and lightning going. In fact, you might see some of it be hearing right now as we speak. This was the scene in parts of downtown Louisville. The storm got closer to the city. A lot of lightning just beginning to pick up as the thunderstorm was moving across the Ohio River. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. In southern Indiana right now, by the way, we want to give you an update. Duke Energy reports the largest outage is Charlestown, Indiana, with more than 200 customers out. Our chief meteorologist, Mallory Schnell, is here now with where those storms are at the moment. And is it going to break down our heat tomorrow, Mallory?
Yeah, I wish. We're still going to have that high heat tomorrow, but it did give us some brief relief for tonight. You can see the radar loop over the last 3 hours showing those storms that dove through the Louisville metro around 7 p.m. continued to push southward, but then we had a little bit of activity building behind that main line with some rain filling in, just tons of moisture in the air, and some prolonged lightning and thunder as well. Does look like that moisture is finally moving out of the Louisville area, continuing to push southward there. So we're gradually drying out. Temperatures really cooled down. We're sitting in the mid 70s, but of course those dew points close behind. We're at 72 degrees for a dew point, and temperatures are at 74 or 75 degrees in Louisville. So with that, we could have some patchy fog overnight. But take a look at this. This is temperatures the last 20 hours. You can see when those storms rolled through. We were at 91 degrees right at the start of the 7 o'clock hour. Those storms rolled through. We dropped down to 75, and we've been staying in the mid 70s ever since. Once again, those showers and thunderstorms should continue to push down to the south gradually overnight. We're looking to dry out with some patchy fog possible, and lows continuing to hang out in the 70s. Tomorrow, though, that heat does return because we still are under this heat advisory through Wednesday. We'll talk about the relief that's going to move in and stick around Thursday through the weekend. That's coming up in our 7-day forecast.
Mallory, thank you. Late breaking news tonight from New York City. A gunman shoots and kills several people at about 6:30 tonight. The gunman opened fire inside a Manhattan office building. New York Mayor Eric Adams confirming 5 people were shot and 4 people are dead tonight, including an off-duty NYPD officer. Adams said right now that a man is in critical condition from the shooting. The shooter died inside the Manhattan office from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Here's Mayor Adams 30 minutes ago at a late news conference saying the NYPD officer who was shot is the best of New York.
He was just 36 years old and a 3.5-year veteran of the department. He was doing what he does best, and all members of the police department carry out. He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers. He's an immigrant from Bangladesh, and he loved this city.
The suspect is identified as a 27-year-old man from Las Vegas. He is seen on security cameras armed with a long gun walking on a sidewalk toward the building tonight. Right now, a motive remains unclear. The office building contains some of the country's top financial firms, such as Blackstone, as well as the headquarters of the NFL, the National Football League. The FBI is working with NYPD, and the investigation is still ongoing there in New York City tonight. 3 people are dead after a shooting this morning outside the Nevada Grand Sierra Resort Casino. Police quickly responded to a call of an active shooter, arriving within 4 minutes where they found the suspect after he tried to get away. The suspect was captured and then taken to a hospital where he remains in critical condition. 3 other people were injured with gunshot wounds and are hospitalized. The resort and Reno, Nevada's mayor says they are heartbroken by this senseless violence.
On behalf of the City of Reno, we want to sincerely express our condolences, our heartfelt prayers to everyone that has been impacted in this situation, especially friends, family, and loved ones.
Police say they have no reason to believe there is connection between any of the victims and the suspect. At this time, police have no known motive. Police also say the casino is deemed safe and is now back open. Now we want to take you to our top story here in Louisville tonight. For the first time tonight, the new JCPS Superintendent, Dr. Brian Yearwood, is sitting down with parents, teachers, and community members. It's part of a public forum tour called Community Conversations. WHAS11 19's Alex Dieterer was at the forum tonight to hear what your top concerns are heading into the school year.
I'm Brian Yearwood, your new superintendent here in JCPS.
With just over a week until the start of the school year, the new leader of the district met with you, parents, teachers, community members, and answered your questions.
What other cuts are being made in the budget? What departments, what programs?
The $150 million budget cut over the next 2 years remains a top priority. Yearwood said cuts will be determined by late fall.
We must preserve salaries for teachers or staff, making sure that we're able to give the appropriate raises, and also making sure that we maintain a quality instructional environment.
Many JCPS teachers addressed concerns they had within the classroom today with Dr. Yearwood. One of those was the teacher shortage.
So is there a plan put in place to get classified people in? Because we're floundering with that, and we desperately need the help in all the schools.
The issue there is pay. We do not pay our assistants enough. Let's call it what it is. Right. Yeah.
Saying the budget deficit limits the ability to increase pay, but says the district is recruiting locally, nationally, and will look internationally if needed to fill the vacancies.
That is a possibility that we may have some long-term subs in the classroom. It's not ideal, and we'll be working to remedy that.
Yearwood also addressed the long-standing issue of a bus driver shortage.
And how confident are you that transportation will go smoothly on Thursday?
I am very, very confident. I'm very optimistic. We have enough bus drivers, absolutely, yes.
The district has over 600 buses and plans to have 700 bus drivers by the start of the school year, hoping for a smooth start. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
And the first day back to school for JCPS is Thursday, August 7th. If you missed tonight's community conversation, the next one is being held this Wednesday at Fairdale High School from 5:30 to 7 p.m. that night. Well, with school around the corner, JCPS has released the bus stop information, and they've opened a special phone line to answer any of your transportation questions. You can find your child's pickup and drop-off information on Bus Teller, found on the JCPS Transportation Portal. And then don't forget the 485 RIDE number. That phone line is for families needing answers about bus transportation. Just call the number on your screen. It is 502-485-7433. It is open weekdays, keep in mind, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have a new update in the Crystal Rogers case. Brooks Houck, convicted in her murder, has been ordered not to sell off any of his properties that he owns ahead of his upcoming civil trial. Houck was convicted of murder in connection with the death and disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Houck is still facing a civil suit by Rogers' family in connection with her killing. Court documents say Houck made several phone calls from the Warren County Jail telling his relatives to sell all the property. In one phone call recorded with his sister, Rhonda McElvoy, court documents say Houck directly referred to the civil case as a reason for selling the properties. A judge today granted a temporary injunction to stop all sales of property. Arguments will be heard on this matter on the 8th of October. The attorneys for Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend Gilea Maxwell, is urging the Supreme Court to take up her pending appeal and overturn her sex trafficking conviction. Maxwell's attorneys claim that she was covered by an agreement that Epstein made with federal authorities to plead guilty that shielded her from prosecution. In a new brief, Maxwell's attorneys told the justices, quote, This case is about what the government promised, end quote. Today, President Donald Trump hinting that he may get involved.
Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon, but nobody's approached me with it. Nobody's asked me about it. It's in the news about that aspect of it, but right now it would be inappropriate to talk about it.
President Trump made the comments while meeting with European leaders at his Turnberry golf course in Scotland. In 2022, Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for carrying out a years-long scheme with Epstein to groom and sexually abuse underage girls. The questions are coming up after Maxwell recently met with the Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche for questioning. Now, Maxwell was given limited immunity during her meetings with Blanche. The meeting happening amid a political firestorm over Donald Trump's handling of the Epstein files. The president feeling pressure from both sides of the aisle as more reports surface that his name does appear in those files. Trump was friends with the financier in the late 90s and early 2000s. But today, the president said he cut ties with Epstein because he hired workers away from him. Trump also denying that he'd ever been to Epstein's private island.
I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
Epstein owned the private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where he entertained prominent people from politics, business, and entertainment. Prosecutors have alleged he used that compound to conceal the sex trafficking and abuse of underage victims. Happening new right now tonight on the night team, a data center planned for southwest Jefferson County has some new opposition tonight from nearby residents and environmental groups calling for more regulation. The 150-acre site comes with steep energy demands as it could power the future of artificial intelligence. WHAS 11's Ian Hardwick covered the meeting tonight and how this new opposition is taking inspiration from the recent defeat of a data center in Oldham County.
The Louisville Watchdog Alliance built the ground floor for data center opposition in Jefferson County, drawing guest speaker Rob Houchins from the We Are Oldham County group that recently rejected a data center proposal there.
I'm not sure all of us would have been nearly the friends that we are today if we had not had the common enemy that we were fighting in this.
Data centers are the future powering artificial intelligence. Melody Peace wants to adopt similar regulations as Oldham County for all of Louisville, like requiring a health assessment study.
I was very encouraged to see how the local community was able to get up and demand some type of regulation on these things.
In Louisville, Poe Companies has a data center project in progress south of Rubbertown along Campground Road. Hank Hillebrand of Poe Companies did not speak to us for this report, but spoke to us back in January.
You know, the investment here is going to be in the several billions of dollars.
We don't know exactly how much yet?
We don't know exactly how much, but it's going to be substantial, and the tax revenues that that's going to drive are going to be in the tens of millions of dollars every year for the city, state, and school systems.
The industrial zoned site was selected partially for its location next to LG&E power transmission lines. At full capacity, the center's power demand is roughly 400 megawatts, about 400,000 homes worth of power. Kathy and Wyatt Little live next door to LG&E's Cane Run generator site, which would power this data center.
Probably less than 100 yards to their fence.
They worry that the addition of lithium-ion batteries storing extra power could trigger fires like this one in California.
And it's unhealthy. I don't want that in my front yard, which is where it will literally be.
David Hine, a doctoral professor in U of L's toxicology department, highlighted risks like cancer and asthma associated with natural gas generators like the ones LG&E wants to open for data centers like these.
And despite years of progress in reducing pollution from the electric power sector, fossil fuel-fired power plants remain a leading source of air, water, and land pollution. That's before all this expansion. Now with the expansion, it's going to accelerate.
The Watchdog Alliance encouraged everyone in attendance to write the Kentucky Public Service Commission ahead of a meeting next Monday, where LG&E will request approval for new natural gas generators to fuel its own projections of a 30 to 45% increase in power demand by 2032. Near Rubbertown, Ian Hardwick for the WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
The company, by the way, told us in emails that one data center project isn't responsible for their projected increase in power use. They cited the Blue Oval SK battery plant near Glendale, Kentucky, as another major energy draw.